linseed oil. One of the questions is why I didn't spray this engine, but it's the pores. This engine was so clean, and the metal was so clean that, in the nature of cast iron as cast, if you spray over bare cast iron, then it leaves little air bubbles in the craters on the cast iron, especially unthinned material, which this was no thinner in this. It was as used boiled linseed oil, and that's the correct type to use. When you go mixing kerosene with it and diesel fuel, anything else you mix with linseed oil and try to put it on there, you're going to end up with a sticky mess the best you can do. But used correctly, it's a real good metal protectant. But the reason you use a brush, and a stiff brush is better, and that way you can, as you putting it on there, you can scrub it into the texture of the cast iron, and that way you don't have it's 100% coverage. Okay, now that I did that and it kind of leveled out, then the next time I can go ahead and use a squirt bottle and just apply it with a squeeze bottle. There's about 3 or 4 series of videos that's running along here together that are on different projects, but all of them are combined. Any one of them can relate to the other. I probably shouldn't have did that, but I done did it, and it led to some confusion. So yeah, some people is going to watch the video where this engine starts up, and that will be the only one they watch. And you know, I'm not saying it's because I did it, but you will be missing something on anybody's videos. If you don't watch how and why they arrived at the point they arrived at, then you're missing something. Now, with all of that said there, we've got gas in the fuel tank. This engine has the fuel pump on it that has the 2 ears on it. And now, you know, you can go to the trouble and make you a stick, you know, with a real pretty ball, and you can sit here and you can pump that fuel pump up if you want to. But that's not the way International McCormick-Deering designed that. You know, if it had been, they would have, when you bought the engine, they would have sent a stick with you. The correct way to do this on the initial startup is to fill the bowl of the mixer with fuel. So we'll just put a little funnel in there to save a spillage, and fill up that chamber with the fuel. Come around. Now we are thinking this engine will start first turn. Okay, now watch this. I'll show you something. I'm going to turn that about 1/4 of a turn. About 1/4. Choke is open all the way. Lever is set on start position. Okay, I'm going to use my hand and these 2 fingers, and I'm going to put over that choke and steady myself. No crank used. Please, just do not use a crank. Now watch this. I'm going to put this up here. I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to turn the engine over, and I felt it suck fuel. Okay, let's give the engine a turn, supposedly to start. Come up on compression. Write her down, boys. Write her down. Put that in the book. You know what I'm going to call it? 1.5 turns. Possibly could have been 2. Write her down. Let's give her a little adjustment right here on the needle valve. And to know where I'm at, I'm going to close it up. And then I'm going to open it back up about 1/8 of the turn. Okay, now I'm going to look down in this hole right here to see if the fuel pump is pumping fuel to the mixer. And it is. The little fuel level is level. It's running over the spillway. At that time, you can put your plug back in. Open up your oiler and adjust it to, you know, 3-4 drops a minute. Come around and move your lever down to the run position. Okay, at this point you can get yourself a glass of iced tea and let the guy that's on the piece of equipment out there grinding corn do his work. You know, actually that's about the best I could do. You know, I had the rings oiled up real good, the cylinder was oiled up real good, and already just the amount of time that this engine has ran, it's burnt that oil. The oil smoke is gone, and I see a little drip in there, so I'm okay. You know, that's all they are. That's all they are to starting an M. You know, just give it a little half of a choke there, and you know, just make sure your parts is right. Someone asked about the spark plug war, and I do use a 7mm size war with the fabric, the black fabric coating. I don't use the rubber war. Neoprene, I don't use that. 7mm with the cloth coating. You know what? The RPMs, someone is going to say, how many RPMs have you got? And not to forget about that water. From here on the east coast of Arkansas, I'd like to thank everybody that everybody that did not fall by the wayside and stood by this series of videos right here. I'd like to thank everybody that, followed along and got us up to this point right here. My heartfelt thanks to everybody that left a comment. I appreciated every one of them. Thank you now. And here on the east coast of Arkansas, Shop Dog Sound.